Start, sir. Good morning, everybody. A hearty welcome to Shri K. Gururaj. Let's begin with a round of applause for sir. Thank you. Thank you all.
Hey.
We have gathered here this morning to gain awareness on the POSH Act 2013. As you all know, the Prevention of Sexual Harassment at Workplace Women's Act 2013 was brought into force to enable protection of women at their workplace against sexual harassment. Now, as per Section 19 of the POSH Act, an employer is required to organize awareness programs and workshops among the employees to create awareness and give knowledge to the employees on the facilities available to them under the POSH Act. To comply with these provisions, Commissioner, Bangalore Northwest Commissionerate has organized for this awareness training program today. This will be conducted by our highly esteemed trainer, Shri K. Gururaja. To give you a small introduction, it's my privilege to inform the audience here that Shri K. Gururaja is a highly regarded and recognized professional in the field of counseling and human resource development training. Affectionately known as Guru to his clientele, Sir has over 25 years of expertise handling issues related to teenagers, marital therapy, and stress management. Sir's knowledge and experience ranging from Indian spiritual context to modern psychology enables him to approach humanistic experiences in a holistic manner. Sir brings insights into human psychology and impact of social environment to enable organizations and individuals to assess their strengths and enhance the same. Having rich experience across the government sector to non-government sector, professionals, businessmen, men, women, children, students, Sir has combined this with his extensive academic knowledge, and he delivers high impact sessions and trainings to influence and engage people in the sphere of social service and organizational leadership. Currently, Sir is practicing as an independent mental health professional from Jan 2021. Let's give it to Sir. With this background, I'd also like to introduce the academic qualifications of Sir to the audience here. Sir is a graduate in science, a postgraduate in arts, and Masters of Studies in Psychotherapy and Counseling, making him the most apt person here today to train us. Sir also has a postgraduate diploma in Human Resource Management, in Guidance and Counseling, in Administrative Law and Labor Law, and in Professional Counseling and Psychotherapy. Talking about some voluntary and community work, Sir is the seminar leader at Prasanna Trust, which is headed by Swami Sukha Bodhanandana, well known as International Management Guru. Sir is also the counselor at Vishwas, Society for Mental Health, a voluntary organization which helps people in emotional stress. This is from August 96 to December 2020, Sir was the counselor at Vishwas. With this brief introduction, I request our Commissioner, Shri Rajiv Kumar Agrawal Sir, to kindly hand over sapling to our esteemed trainer, Shri K. Gururaj, and welcome Sir to today's session. Thank you, Sir. We now will begin the training program. I request Shri K. Gururaj to take over. Thank you.
I'll stand. Can I stand there? Can we use this? Can I use a PPT?
I'll just check, sir.
Okay.
PPT ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ? ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋದು? ಓಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ತಂದು ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ
ಇಲ್ಲ ಬೇಡ it will take time. I will do, no problem. Good morning. How are you? Fine means physically, mentally, emotionally, all way. Very good. Okay. Itla. Okay. So, what could be the context in which this act was introduced? Why was this act found necessary to be brought in? Any thought? That is a very standard answer. No, there are two things. One is called the knowledge, other is called wisdom. Knowledge is gnana, wisdom is vignana. So I want vignana answer. Why do you think somebody brings this kind of statute in a workplace? Who found the necessity of this? Say whatever comes to your mind. For awareness, okay. Now why do you think, why did some people thought an act like this is necessary in a workplace? So he's saying that some Vishaka happened and all that. So Vishaka was an NGO which was trying to help stop child marriage, and the worker of that NGO worker was subjected to gang rape, and she went to court and all that. So there is a lot of history. And in that case, the Supreme Court laid down a guidelines called Vishaka guidelines. So it was just remained as a guidelines, and finally Supreme Court thought that this should be made as a rule, and this rule has come. So it was implemented in 2013. Right? Now, why this act only for the protection of women? Why not sexual harassment at workplace for men? It's a very fundamental question, no?
Women is considered as a weaker. They are not active.
Women is considered as weaker. Okay. Okay. Let us understand some basic concepts, then we will go to the law. Right? Okay. What do you understand when we say sex? What do you mean by sex?
Physical relationship with male and female.
Yes, madam?
Physical relationship.
Does sex mean physical relationship between male and female?
Biological.
Yeah. Biological difference. Okay. So madam is saying something, she is saying something, right? Now a software engineer goes to a company and is looking for a placement. He has just completed BE. He goes to a company and looking for placement, so he goes to there, and receptionist is sitting there. He goes and says, I am looking for a placement, can you help? He says, please sit down, and gives him a form. Please fill up this form. So first column name, second column date of birth and age, third column contact details, fourth column is sex. What should he write? But like madam said, for him sex means that. So he says, I am asking for a computer software engineer job. Why they are interested in my personal matters? So again, as the sex column, he writes yes, yes. I want. Now receptionist looks at the form and says, sex means you have to write male or female. He says, oh my God, I have already written yes. But they want to express my views whether I want it with male or female also. So what to do? If you leave blank, it will be rejected. So he has written already yes, yes. So he puts a bracket and says preferably female. Then he goes to the next column. It says how much you expect. What is the company asking? Salary. Where is he stuck? So he says, why Bangalore has become so bad? I am asking for a small job of a software engineer. What this information is required? What to do? Again, if you leave blank, it will be rejected. He says twice a week. When you don't understand a concept, when you have a distorted perception of certain things, you will land yourself into trouble. So that is why it is better to have. So sex is only biological difference between a man and a woman, nothing else. That is why even in the application form we say sex, right? So sex is nothing but biological difference. So who created this biological difference?
God.
Very good. So any other word for the God? Oh. So say something which is universally acceptable.
Creator.
No? Something else? Chromosome is now you can say nature, no? Very simple. Okay? So it is the nature. Why nature has created two type of people? Male and female? Yeah, it is only purpose of the procreation. So in that process of procreation, male has got a role, female has got a role. So male cannot conceive, female cannot produce sperms. So based on this fundamental difference, nature has created two type of people. One is male and another is female. That's all. No other difference. Nature has not said anything other than this. This is what is called as sex. So hereafter sex means, madam, what?
Biological difference between
As that's all. Nothing else. Right? Can this be changed?
yes, sir, to surgery.
Distorted perception. Who will undergo surgery to change the sex? Does a man want to become a woman? Does a woman want to become a man? Who will undergo surgery? Like madam is correct, surgery is correct. Who will undergo surgery? Where people have different, over a period of time when as the age 13 crosses, if the female hormones are more, if the male hormones are more, they are not able to decide about, they may opt for surgery. But a person who has already born, was already a man, will never undergo surgery. So this is, sex is natural and it cannot be changed. Clear? Okay. Now what is gender? You have heard this word, no? Gender. So what is gender? Yeah, correct. Little loudly. What you said is correct. Yeah.
What one person feels if he is feminine or masculine, that is his gender.
Is it the person feeling something more than that?
Hormones.
Societal constructs. That means how a man should be, how a woman should be. As you are growing up, there are certain things told to you by your parents, your teachers, significant people around you, that this is how you should be, this is how you should be. So can you give me? That means there are a lot of rules prescribed when you are going as a boy or a girl, when you become a lady and a gentleman, when you become a husband and wife. So throughout your life, lot of these kind of instructions are given. Are we right? Can you give me some example of these rules? What is told to a girl and what is told to a boy when they are growing up? Some example you remember, no? Even now in some houses, rules will be still there. Yeah. Any example? You don't remember any rules that have been told to you?
Parents taught us all.
Yeah. Anybody? Yeah. Yeah, sure, sir. Yeah. Any rule? Yeah. Any rule you remember?
Talk softly. Then always keep your head down and walk.
No, that is all not there, madam.
Olden times, sir.
Olden time, that is all gone. I'm looking for certain things which till today people may be talking about. Certain rules. Or any rule you remember when you were very small, when we are growing up? That is what? You give me one rule. One rule kodi example. Give me an example.
Reach home before dark.
Very good. Girls should always reach home before dark. Why?
Insecurity.
There is always risk because her safety is at stake. If her safety is at stake, who is creating problem for her safety? Men. So men can be outside. So men can be outside creating problem for everybody and girl should be inside. Is this rule right? So like this, if you go to all those rules which were made when we were growing up as a boy or a girl, most of them were centered around girls, not around boys. That means girls don't have the freedom to stay beyond sunset because the reason given is she is unsafe. But the unsafe environment is created by the person who is left scot-free. So the freedom is given to him, restriction is given to her. So like this. Any other rule? I will give you examples so you will understand. I have a son and a daughter. My daughter is extraordinarily brilliant. She scores always 92%, 93% like that. My son is also good, but he is always in 70, 75 bracket. So I am a middle class man, I am working in a government department, I am a clerk. So when both of them complete graduation, 12th standard, my daughter has scored 92%, right? And my son, because he missed 1 or 2 years, now somehow he has come to the 12th standard. Both of them have reached simultaneously 12th standard because my son took 2-3 years gap, failing and all that. Now my daughter has scored 92%, my son has scored 78%, but I have the capacity to educate only one of them because financially I can only do that. Now whom I will prefer? Why? 92% daughter is there, no?
Maybe the daughter will go into the different family, son will remain in our family.
Very good, very ideal thought. So daughter is always going to another family. Why make her engineer and donate it to somebody?
Not like that. Not that way, sir. See, he'll be with us. So when every day we see him for so many years. So that.
Very good. So son is always with us. So if he becomes an engineer and all that.
Any parent will say children both.
Yes.
Be good wherever they go.
Wherever they go. Right? Okay. Now this is what we say. Now look at most of the families today. In how many families son are with parents and taking care? So where are the rules coming from?
The rituals, maybe.
All these rules have come from a woman-centric attitude and it has got nothing to do with the well-being of both the people. Like he says, my son also should be good, my daughter should also be good. Do you have that kind of attitude? So you will allow your son to struggle and complete higher education, where she can do the education. I will not do that for her because I am bound by the rules. All these type of rules are called gender. So gender is societal. It comes from the society. Sex comes from the nature. That cannot be changed, but it can be changed. Is not possible to change the societal rules? Yeah, so that is what changed. But to what extent it has changed? Yes, it has changed where all women are educated today, they can also get into job, everything and all that, right? But still that patriarchal attitude has changed. For example, I have a daughter who is working as a software engineer. She tells me, look for an ordinary boy. Even if he's just BCom, BA, it is okay, right? Just look for an ordinary boy and all that. So I look for an ordinary boy. I understand why she is BE and she is looking for an ordinary boy and all that. So she says, no problem, you see, it is my life. So I am little free, so I say whatever she says. So he speaks to the boy and says, see, I'm a BE, software engineer, I'm earning 1.4 lakhs. You don't work, you just relax at home. Don't work. Simply watch TV, morning cook whatever you can cook. In the evening I'll come together, we will cook. We will simply enjoy life. But you sit at home, I will go for work. Is this proposal acceptable? If I was the boy, I would have happily accepted. But we don't accept because there is a taboo. The society does not allow you to feel comfortable. So we are not interested in happiness. We are not interested in happiness. We are not interested in peace. We are interested in sticking to the rules made by somebody. So it has become the bondage. Because of all this bondage, the way we look at women itself is so different. How many of you seen Lapata ladies? Do you know what all happens in that Lapata ladies? Every time there is a sequence, he beautifully brings it out, how the woman has to be protected. All this comes why? Because of those kind of attitude. Now, all this we call it as discriminative tendency towards women, which has been there over a period of time. And because of the discrimination, what happened? Lot of power was vested in men than women. So this power manifests in different ways. First one is called personal power. For example, when you go down in the lunch time, there are 4 or 5 boys sitting in a corner, bida corner, smoking. Anything special there? It's an ordinary scene, no? In the same spot, if 3 girls are smoking, this is called, what yaar, जमाना कैसा हो गया? हमने सोचा कमरे में बंद हो के ये स्मोक कर रहे थे, आज बाहर आ गई. So you will start doing. This is called, as a man I can do anything anywhere. You cannot do. This is called personal power. Then positional power. Certain power comes to men by position. How does a wife introduce her husband? This is my. If you go back little earlier days, how the wife introduces her husband? In Kannada, what do they say? Yajmana. ये मेरे घर वाले हैं, यजमान रू ये मेरे घर वाले हैं. So this is, so whenever there is an argument, and even though wife thinks that husband thinks wife is correct, finally he will say, who is the boss? Who is the head of the family? So this is called positional power. Then the third is social power, which we have discussed because it gives lot of benefits to man, he behaves like that. Then there is political power. Do you know what is the political power? When Lalu Prasad Yadav has to resign, whom he appointed as chief minister? His wife, because the power will be with him. And he is a very brilliant fellow. Just imagine, in fodder he can eat crores of rupees, means how brilliant he must be. So when Japan Prime Minister comes to Bihar and tells Lalu Prasad Yadav, I see all your people are very hard working, you have a wonderful natural resources, and he says, you give me Bihar and give me 1 year time, I'll convert Bihar into Japan. So Lalu Prasad Yadav says, oh, kya badi baat hai? You give Japan to me, in 3 months I'll make it Bihar. That is his capacity. Till today, we are still awaiting 33% reservation in parliament for women. How many years we have spent in independence? Why? Why we are not able to bring one law which prescribes 33% for women? There is no political will. So the political power is also with men. Now look at the economic power. Of course, lot of changes have economic power because girls are also earning. Otherwise, if you look at the girl's dress even today, she doesn't have a pocket, no? Saree में pocket नहीं है, सलवार कमीज में pocket नहीं है, कहीं भी pocket नहीं है. She has to carry a handbag. Look at this boy, right from small age, निक्कर में भी 2 pocket है, शर्ट में 1 pocket रखने के लिए, लेकिन not required for girls. So this is how economic power has been shown. And the worst power which comes is sexual power. Sexual power means virtue, virginity, everything is in the vagina. The moment a girl is raped, everything is gone. Isko kya jata hai, isko kuch nahi jata. So because of all this attitude, the way of looking at woman has been different. And because of this type of attitude, lot of laws have been brought in this society to help women. So that is why we have to look at this. So what is sex? What is gender? Why discrimination has come? Because of discrimination, what has happened is, so we have seen all those things. So that is why a lot of laws have come. So because of these things, how women are looked at, because of this, one of the aspects of all this power play that happens between man and woman is how men look at women. So because of this thing only, this act has come, so that women are not subjected to any harassment. So there are a lot of laws to protect women. So there is in BNS, there is Child Marriage Prohibition Act, right? Dowry Prohibition Act. So then we have a lot of provisions how a married woman cannot be. Earlier it was 498A, in BNS something else has come. Trafficking Act is there, women cannot be trafficked from one place to another. Then there is sexual assault. Now we don't use the word rape, we call it as sexual assault, then we call it sexual harassment. In sexual assault there is a physical contact, in sexual harassment there is no physical contact but there is a sexual intent. So all these things are there. So like that, lot of laws have come, alright. Now this is one of the law which has come in 2013. I told you the background. Why the fundamental reason for this law is that every person has a right to work with dignity and respect in a place. That is the fundamental reason why this law has come. So this law has come in 2013. The purpose of this law is threefold. One is prevention, second is protection, third is redressal. That means if it happens, how the grievances of that person has to be protected, right. So what do we call as sexual harassment is any unwelcome act or behavior on the part of one person towards the other. Any unwelcome, for example, you say, hello Naina, like this he says, she says namaste. Don't push your hand to shake hand. That is an unwelcome act. Why I am giving this example? All these examples have happened in various departments and it has led to a lot of problems, right? Sexual in nature. Suddenly somebody is walking in the corridor, she is wearing a very nice dress. You can stop her and say, this dress looks nice on you, depending upon how your relationship is there. But you cannot sing a song, tu cheez badi hai mast mast. So that is sexual in nature, right? Subjective experience. Subjective experience means one girl may be very free, even if you say certain things she may not feel bad. But the same thing you say to another girl, she may feel bad. So now you can't say, if she is alright with it, why can't she be alright? It is a subjective experience. That means it is always the comfort level of the woman that has to be considered. So you can be very close to the person who is very open in your office, but at the same time you need to be very careful with the other person who may not be that open. It is her right. So see, it is always a subjective experience, right? You cannot say, I shook hands with her, she had no problem. I shook hands with her, she has a lot of problem. She will have problem because it is her uncomfortable experience. You have to respect her this thing. So that is important. Impact matters and not the intent. That means when you behave in a particular way, how much I am impacted as a woman, that matters. Whatever may be your intention. You may justify, I did it in a good taste, I did it with good intention. You may give 101 explanation, but it does not matter. If I have felt uncomfortable, I am uncomfortable, that's all. So this fact you always have to remember. So what does this call for? On the part of men, what does this call for? Because don't understand this conceptually. Existentially, how do you understand? What is that you need to understand when we say these are all sexual harassment? Otherwise, I will give a talk and go, you will not remember how to implement it. I have explained 4 things as sexual harassment. So, As a man, how you should be? What is that you need to think? Say anything, no? Be more sensitive whenever you are interacting with a woman. That's all. Look at where she comes from, what background she comes from, and all that. See, be more sensitive to her. If somebody looks very orthodox, she is very reserved and all that, you maintain a distance. If somebody is very close, go as much close as you can manage. So, this sensitivity you have to develop, right? So, when we say sexual harassment, we have explained what does it include? Demand, request for sexual behavior. So, anything you demand, even if you make a request for sexual favor, that can be considered as harassment, right? For example, on a official tour, we have gone together for some office work, and everything is over by 6, 6:30, 7:30. Then if you ask her to come for a drink, if you ask why don't we go together for a movie and all that, so be sensitive. So that kind of thing, it may lead to something else, be sensitive there. So if you make those kinds, right? Okay. Physical confinement and touch against the will. Suppose somebody has come to your chamber and you don't allow them to go out, or somebody is there even in other places, areas where you are supposed to be together for certain reasons, you lock the door, don't allow, and touching against their will. So this will become a sexual harassment. Intrusion of privacy. This is highly sensitive. What could be some of the things which may be termed as intrusion of privacy? I am speaking to a woman. What could be one or two things which may show that I am showing intrusion into her privacy?
Personal details.
Personal details. Example?
Where she lives.
Where she lives may not be very intrusion of privacy. It can be. Suppose she is kept her phone, you go and check into her phone, that is intrusion of privacy. A small question like, who are all there in your family? It is little more private, that we want to understand her family background. So all those things, right? So these are all intrusion of privacy, right? Definitely certain direct action you cannot do, vulgar, indecent jokes, phone calls, messages, email, all those things you cannot do. So all this would be considered as, included as sexual harassment, right? Then stalking. Stalking means following. That means even, do we do it in the office? Yeah, every time go to the boss chamber, whenever she goes to the boss chamber, I also go there. So that could be stalking. Sexually colored remarks. Your file is so neat. Why are you not as decent as your files are? So this is sexual colored remark. Don't think whatever I am saying, it is all real examples which we have seen in other departments, like KPTCL, in some of the organization, BMTC. So we have seen this. Lot of harassment in BMTC for conductors, lady conductors. They have a lot of these kind of issues, right? Right. Sexually abusive language, of course, where you use a lot of galis. Of course, if you are in Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Jharkhand and all that, that is a different. But in Bangalore, even one small word can be very big gali here. So you have to be careful. Showing pornography or similar picture. Now sir, how can this happen, pornography? In one of the office, a recently appointed assistant engineer, 28-year-old, she went to an office and her boss was executive engineer. She is an assistant engineer, her boss was executive engineer. So he looked at her and he gave her laptop. See, this laptop is not working. Can you please check? You are very young. Just now we have completed BE. She clicked the lab. The whole scene was full of the pornography picture. And as she looked at, she was little shocked. And this fellow was looking at her with smiles, giving a smile. So this is what is how, it is not that you will call shows pornography. These are the acts some people may do, right? So what exactly sexual harassment at workplace means? That means if you don't do whatever I say, you will not stay in this office for longer. If I say this to a woman employee, it contributes sexual harassment. So there is a threat about present or future employment, right? Anytime you detrimental treatment to the employee, you harass her so that I can persuade her to listen to whatever I say, all those things will be construed as sexual harassment. Exactly opposite to that, even though she does not ask, you go on giving preferential treatment to her. If she comes late, you don't question. If she leaves early, you don't question. Sometimes you yourself allow her to go home early. So this, now you will be confused, why he is doing all this to me. So that is also a inappropriate behavior, right? Interference with the work. So she is doing her job, suddenly will go, come on, I will help you. Go to her table, do extraordinary, show extraordinary interest, and it is an interference in the work. So all these things, right? And when none of these things work, you will create an intimidating or a hostile environment in the office. Then you will find small mistakes, convert it into big thing, so that she will come back to me. So doing these kind of things and humiliating environment. Always scolding her, pinpointing her mistakes in front of other. So all these things now in different ways, all this will become sexual harassment at workplace, right? Okay. So if a woman is harassed at a sexual workplace, there are two options for her. One is, there is Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita 2023, section 74 to 79. So earlier in IPC it was 354 ABCD, right? All those provisions apply here. That means if something happens in office, can a woman go to police station and file a complaint? Yes, she can do that. At the same time, can she file a complaint at the ICC Internal Complaint Committee? Yes. Or the Internal Complaint Committee completes the enquiry and says this is a serious case, and it can say go and file a complaint to the police station. So all the three possibilities are there. What are 74 to 79? 74 to 79 lays down what are the sexual harassment behavior. Stalking, taking photographs without her permission, sending messages, forcing her to do something against her will, or calling her at the inappropriate time. So all these things are there. Do you know why all these laws came into force? In 2012, when Nirbhaya case happened, in 2013, Verma committee looked into these aspects. They said if we stop sexual harassment, sexual assault can be avoided, because it starts, one wrong thought starts in the mind, it will start manifesting in different form, which will become sexual harassment, and if it is not stopped there, it may lead to sexual assault. So they made all these provisions. Do we require these provisions? We require these provisions because we see every day cases being booked under 74 to 79. So taking picture without her permission, sending SMSs, stalking, all these things are offences as per IPC. Now it is BNS 74 to 79. What is the impact of this law? When you register a case, give a complaint under BNS, Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita, FIR will be registered, investigation will be done. If you are found guilty, then award, there will be punishment will be awarded, right? Applies to all the places. It can be a workplace, it can be on the road, it can be in the house, it can be anywhere. So BNS is applicable everywhere. This is one set of the law that is available for a woman. What is the other law is this, Sexual Harassment at Workplace, Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal 2013. This is a civil law. Civil law means no punishment can be given under this law. Only fines, reconciliation, apology, there are so many other things. Like how you have CCA rules, no? Punishments being given, it is not criminal law, it is like a civil law. So both these options are available to the woman. But if she chooses to go directly complain to the police, nobody can stop her. But if she chooses to give a complaint to the ICC without going to the police also, it is okay. But if the ICC feels that this is a serious case and we ourselves should refer it to the police station, the committee can also do that. So these are the two provisions that is available for a woman. Okay. So if you look at the act, there are a lot of small definitions which are very important. For example, GST office is here in Shivaji Nagar. Now a team is sent to Belgaum, sorry, your west some zone, your team is sent there. Something happens there. Something happens there and woman feels that she has been sexually harassed. Now, does it become a sexual harassment at workplace? Yeah. So all these points are clarified in the section 2 of the act. It defines what is a workplace. Workplace means not only this office. Whenever you go out on this official work, in whichever place you are, so all these explanations, details are defined in the section 2 of the act. The section 2F defines the employee. For example, you order for a food, a lady comes here to deliver the food here, right? And she is sexually harassed. Is she an employee? She is not an employee, but she is eligible to file a complaint to the ICC. So all these details are defined in the act very nicely. Then section 2G calls who is the employer.
In this example that you told, which ICC does she come under?
Same,
This office.
because in this office it has happened, no? So she will complain to this ICC.
Suppose she is employed in another company and she comes here, and if she is harassed, does she not required to go and file the complaint in her ICC?
Because the offender and the place of offence is completely different from her workplace. No? So all this is clarified here in this section.
But sir, if you don't mind,
Yeah, sure.
this is also her place of work. No?
But the
She's on
harassment offence has not happened in that place.
Okay, so it is the
Place where offence happens. So that is why even in police cases, the date and time of offence is very important, where it happened. So that makes all the difference, right? Then section 2G defines who is the employer. Who is the employer means, for example, the delivery girl comes, she is not employed by me, but in my place it has happened. For all the purpose of her sexual harassment, I may be the employer. Like this, it clarifies all those things. Then whenever sexual harassment happens, or in order to prevent sexual harassment or to see that it does not happen, what are the employer has to do? So all that section 19, like madam was telling, no, awareness program has to be created. So all that is explained in section 19, right? Section 26(1), if you don't follow the obligations imposed by this act by the employer, so lot of fine can be rewarded. There was one case, some lakhs of rupees was imposed as a fine, I think in Kerala or somewhere, right? So all these for non-compliance, if you don't follow the compliance of, if you don't comply with the provisions of this act, fine can be given. There is a penalty. So now all the complaints will go to an internal committee. So wherever there are more than 10 employees, internal complaint committee has to be formed, right? So the presiding officer has to be a woman only. And who is this woman? The senior most employee amongst women employees. So if there is a assistant commissioner, deputy commissioner, or additional commissioner, whoever is the topmost, so she will be the person. Like, so there will be members, at least among all the members, there should be one compulsorily, there should be one woman. So there can be one another person, or a man or a woman, but who is committed to the cause of woman, right? At least one person should be there with social or legal background in order to interpret the sections. If something has to happen, it has to be referred to the court and all that, there must be one person. And there must be one person who has got background with working in NGO. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4, there will be 5 members. The presiding officer has to be woman, at least one woman has to be there. That means among the 5, minimum 2 must be women. There can be more also women. So this is how.
All also can be women.
Huh? All also can be women. Yeah. But why the other people are also there? Because if you need a person who has worked in an NGO and who has a reasonably background of all these things, then it will be helpful. If somebody who has a social knowledge, for example, in certain organization, I was a member of the internal complaint committee. So there are cases we have where we have decided even without a written complaint, because for example, I gave you the example of assistant engineer where executive engineer showed the laptop and there was all pictures. Now we asked this girl, because without complaint I cannot act. So she was reluctant to give a complaint because she has just joined, her probation period is still on. So in the initial stage of my life, I don't want to do all these things. I said, without, if you don't give complaint, how can we investigate? But she was very reluctant to give. Then the committee said, presiding officer said, she is a executive engineer. She said, let us close the case. I said, because she has not given the complaint, if you close the case, what is the message you are sending to that person? So I asked her, tell me what relief you want. She said, please transfer me to another office. I said, if there is another person who does this, what will you do? Somehow you have to develop courage, but she was unwilling to give a complaint. So what we did, so what I recommended to the department is that transfer him. So he must feel the pinch, not this girl. So we got him transferred to a place very far off from where he was working. Then he came and all said, then he was arguing with me, why this is all done. I said, you have done this and all that. Then he said, show me the complaint, I will fight, you conduct an inquiry and all that. I said, I will show you the complaint, but you fight and argue, lot of things can happen. One is punishment, you may not be promoted. Even worse thing, you will have to write an apology for the person who has just entered, you have 22 years of service, what do you prefer? He said, I will go there. Go. See, do you know why they say one person from NGO has to be there? Now the committee, what it will do, we have no complaint. It is a typical government organization committee. No complaint, no inquiry. She did not come complaint, I will keep quiet. But we will not look at like that. She must receive. We believe in one point, whenever a woman talks of her sexual harassment or any sexual discomfort, she is always true. We always come from that aspect. We don't think any woman will make a false accusation about that. We operate from that. Now when she has come to me, if she is not willing to give a complaint, still her grievance has to be redressed. That is why other people must be there. Otherwise it will be typical. No complaint, no inquiry, nothing happened. He will enjoy and he will repeat the same behavior. So that is why these different people are supposed to be there. Now suppose something happens in an office. Now, for example, a girl coming from a typical middle class orthodox family, suddenly she faces something like this. For her it is a big shock. She may become unconscious, her BP may rise, something may happen and all that. Then where is the question of complaint and all those things. So keeping all these situations in the view, there is a provision. Who can file the complaint? The woman herself. Whoever has been harassed, she can file a complaint. Or if she is in such a condition, she has gone to a shock or she has felt so much stressful, she is not able to do, any other person on her behalf can also file a complaint. Right. If for that purpose somebody in that office is unwilling to file the complaint, why we should take the headache of another colleague and all that? Any person with her consent can file a complaint. For example, as a father, if something happens to my daughter, I can file a complaint on her behalf to the committee, right? Suppose because of all this, in extreme cases, a girl, because unable to withstand all these things, has committed suicide. She is dead. Then any person with the permission of the legal heirs can give a complaint. So this is how it happens. So anybody can give a complaint. Now all this has done in order to see that somewhere any act of sexual harassment should not go without punished. That is the purpose.
How to know how she committed suicide due to this reason?
Suicide note will be there, or we will have a circumstantial inquiry, what happened, when happened, how it happened, and if she has been talking to people. So all this preliminary inquiry will be done, and if we have a reasonable evidence to believe that it has happened because of that, we will initiate a case on that. So sometimes when this complaint is given, we can do a conciliation process. Conciliation means keeping both the parties together and you can come to certain understanding, and once it is done, no inquiry will be conducted, right. So this conciliation always happens between the woman and the person against whom the complaint has given. Normally they are called as respondent, right. And whatever they agree, it must be put in writing. It is not oral, it is not verbal. It must be put in writing so that there is a complaint and there is a written record of the settlement, so that both of them know that it has been conciled and settled. So there must be a record for that. Under no circumstances monetary settlement can be done. So I cannot say I will give you 5 lakh rupees, withdraw your complaint. No. Even if it comes to the knowledge of the committee that something like that has happened, they will continue with the inquiry, so that it reaches the logical end. Otherwise it will lead to a lot of complications, right. So once the settlement is done, reconciliation process happens. So what happens? There is no inquiry. The matter ends there. Now she has given a complaint, he has come, he says I want to reconcile, I don't want the inquiry to happen. So both of them will be sat in front of the committee and settlement will be done, and whatever settlement is done, it will be recorded in writing and the matter is closed. This happened in the Indian Institute of one famous institute in Bangalore, where this ladki was continuously followed up by a Kantian person. So she is a very hard worker, studious. She used to go for dinner in a little late always, but he would ensure that he is always there whenever she comes. So one day he found a time and ensured that very few people were there, and he did something, tried to do something. But she is a little stronger, from North India and all that. She is a karate belt. She gave one and he fell down, but still she gave a complaint. So then he came and he said, I am willing for reconciliation. And we asked, girl, what do you want? He is offering reconciliation. She said 2 things. He must give an apology letter. He should leave the job here. And we asked her, he said, I will give apology, I will not leave the job. Then she said, inquiry should continue. And I told that guy, if you leave the job, you can get a job in some other restaurant, canteen or anything. But if the complaint is found, then if the committee recommends, because you do not belong to us, you are only a part of the canteen, but canteen is in our premises. So if we ask police to investigate, you will go to lockup. What do you want to do? Then he said, I will give a written apology. Then he also resigned from the job and we sent them. And this girl was okay, so we recorded that in writing and we closed the case. Most of the things we try to close at that level, provided the woman or the girl is satisfied. Otherwise it will have a problem. So this is how we do, right. Once the reconciliation is done, there will be no inquiry. How do we do the inquiry? It is almost similar to what you do in CCA rules, right. So whenever an incident happens, within 3 months of the incident, the woman should give a complaint to the internal complaint committee. If it is delayed, she has to explain for the reason. For example, she was admitted to hospital, she could not give a complaint, she took rest, all those things. If there is a reason, she can give, right. The moment as a complaint ICC, the moment I receive, within 7 days I must issue a notice to the respondent against whom the complaint has been lodged, right. So he will have only 10 days to give a submission of reply. Can you see everywhere they have put a time limit, because otherwise it will drag on. How it happens in CCA rules? We give a notice, he does not come, again we will put another date, like that. No, it is not there. So submission of reply within 10 days. Then if both of them we will show the explanation to the woman and show, this is, we issued a notice, this is what we have received, do you want conciliation? So you will ask. If she says yes, we will do the conciliation. If she refuses, no reconciliation, then inquiry to be completed within 90 days. So once the inquiry is completed in the 90 days, within 10 days, the report has to be prepared and it has to be submitted to the appropriate authority, whoever is the boss. Then whatever is recommended there in the inquiry committee, within 90 days, the inquiry committee recommendation have to be implemented, whether it is cutting increment, withholding promotion, transfer, whatever it is there, everything has to be done. But like CCA rules, the respondent has a right to appeal against that order within 3 months from within 90 days from that. So, the same procedure happens. Only difference is here reconciliation process, the rest all is same, right. So, what actions can be taken against the person who has done this thing? So, the least could be what? An apology is the least thing. So, he says I am sorry, I didn't mean it, but it has happened. Now that you are hurt, always see, whenever somebody tenders an apology, don't defend yourself. You try to understand the other person's feelings. On that day I did like this, I am sorry that it has been impacted you in a way. So, I am sorry about how it has impacted you. Don't say I didn't do with that intention. You cannot get, that is not an apology. You are justifying. So, an apology has to communicate that I understood how deeply you were hurt and I am sorry for hurting you. That's all you have to say, right. So, that is an apology. Reprimand means like you are censured. Maybe reprimand will be recorded in your service records if the enquiry comment says, and your promotion can be withheld. That would be one of the promotion. ICC may recommend that his person's promotion may be withheld for 1 year, 2 years, like that, because of this act and all that. And he can also recommend withholding of increments with cumulative effect or without cumulative effect, right. But where the committee finds that this person is based, in some cases it happens, actually people are very good. Normally they don't indulge in these things. And we have seen this person for 20 years, 25 years, he has never done that and all that. Now suddenly he does that, and he comes from a background where he has a strong feeling how the woman should be. And because of those reasons he has done that, then what we will do, if he has done only in verbal or something like that, the committee will recommend that he should undergo counseling. So what we do, we try to change his conditionings. For example, he understands women should be like this only, women should talk like this only, like madam said, no, head down and all that. So although devious, and if a woman talks even little loudly, some people can't accept because they are not used to that. घर में बीवी बोले तो ठीक है, लेकिन ऑफिस में नहीं है. So like some people have all those restrictions, no. So suddenly they will have all this attitude. One of my friends says, no, whenever I go home and look at my wife, I remember my lady boss. Why? She also orders like that only. So when he comes to office, whenever he looks at the lady boss, he remembers his wife. So this is the problem. So people have this kind of attitude. So committee will say, you must have some counseling sessions. So they have to go through that counseling session. So they will find a person through whom they should be counseled. Sometimes they may say, is it rarely done? They may ask him to do some community service. For the entire employee, do something like that, where it all depends on the degree of the sexual harassment act that he has done. In some strong cases, his services can be terminated. It happened in one of the prestigious institutions in Bangalore, where an officer level has done lot of harassment act, but he was extraordinarily good at his job. So the organization was not willing to let him go. So but this complainant woman was very strong. She went to an NGO. So there are a lot of NGOs in Bangalore who fight for the cause of the woman. They sat in dharana in front of that prestigious organization. For that organization, it is very insulting. It is very famous, very important, very prestigious, everything. But what to do? So finally they said organization is more important, so they terminated the service. So termination also happens. I am giving this example, don't think it will not happen, it has happened, right? Okay. They all because of this effect, no? Movie people also. A lot of women actors also came out, how they were subjected to sexual harassment and all that, right? So now we come to the most important aspect. If a woman misuses this act, that means she knows that all laws are favorable to us, so we can do that, we can do that. So I will see that you get caught in, I will give you a false complaint and all that. If a woman does like that, and in the inquiry it is proved that this woman has with malicious intention she has filed this complaint, whatever punishment we could have given to that respondent, same punishment been given to her. She can even be terminated from the service. So that provision is also there, right? So if a person is a consultant, so I am coming to every week to GST office as a consultant doing some counseling or something, some other work or ICC something and all that. So if I commit a mistake, for that purpose I become an employee of this organization, I can also be terminated. But if I am a woman, I am coming here to help the internal complaint committee, but I give a false complaint against somebody, then my engagement can be terminated. So all termination is possible even if the complaint is found very false. So all these are there. So when you do all this enquiry, everything and all that, what you have to remember is that entire procedure, right from the name of the complaint, contents of the complaint, how the enquiry happens, if the reconciliation has happened, how everything has to be confidential at all times. Otherwise, she will become a subject matter of the gossip in the organization. So confidentiality has to be maintained, right? If one of these people stay, for example, in the here building only, one person has complained and the woman is also from there, and if the internal committee feels that keeping them both of here and doing an enquiry is difficult, then they can consider the transfer of one of them to some other office, right? So if the woman is so shocked, she doesn't want to come to office because I am shocked, I never expected that this would happen. She can take leave for 3 months till the enquiry is completed. Why 3 months? Because within 90 days they have to complete the enquiry. So she can be on leave during the entire days, right? And having decided on the gravity of the situation, right, the internal complaint committee may recommend any relief that is necessary for the woman. So all this can be done, right? So how do you avoid the whole unpleasant act of enquiry, complaint and all that is very simple. In any organization, let us create a free from gender bias. What is the kind of environment we have? Whether you are a man or a woman, it makes no difference. We are all employees here. So create a free environment which is free from gender bias, right? Gender bias means because you are a woman, you cannot do this. I am a man, I can do this. No, nothing like that. We are all the same. So free from gender bias. So create like that and be professional at all the times. So we are here for a purpose. What is the purpose? We are all professionals in the field of GST. We are here to do our duties in the GST department. Let us stick to that. Let us not mix up professional relationship and personal relationship and all that. And always through your behavior, both men and women, set a positive example. How do we do that? When we go to the last slide, perhaps I will tell you. Always set a positive example, right? So suppose I have very impulsive person, like I am a very shyery type, I am a very poetic type. The moment I look at woman, words come out of my mouth and all that. So every time you want to say something, take a pass. For example, a woman comes and says, you are seeing her for the first time in the office, she might have been recently transferred or she might have recently come here and all that, and suddenly you look at her and you say, oh, you look so nice. Then she says, अरे आप पहली बार मुझे देख रहे हैं, how do you say you look so nice? Then immediately अरे शायरी will say, प्यार का जज्बा नया रंग दिखा देता है, अजनबी चेहरे को महबूब बना देता है. So you will say all these things. So it all doesn't work like that, right? So you have to be careful. So that means every time you talk to a woman, take a pass, one small pass. What is appropriate, what is not appropriate, right? Right. So some people draw boundaries. Like for example, come let us have lunch together, you call a female employee. And she doesn't prefer to have, she prefers to have lunch at her table, clean her table and be comfortable. No, why? अकेली क्यों खाती है? मेरे साथ आइए ना. Don't compel. That means if she has drawn a boundary, respect that boundary. Actually, this boundary respecting even at home is also good, but in the workplace also you must respect boundary, you must be more cautious. Don't pressurize any female employee to do certain things because you don't know. We think we are an open society and you may say, chalo chalte hai, come. then you will invite her for a drink party and all that. ये आजकल सब लड़कियां पीते हैं, आप भी आ जाए ना. So she may be drinking. मैं जानता हूँ आप बहुत काफी you drink beer and all that, I know, you come with me. She may drink beer, she may not want to come with you. Respect that boundary. So like this you must be able to do that. So that means when you start doing all these things, then what happens? You are respecting their individual boundaries. Right. Then how do you create a harassment free environment? If you look at human relationships, there are 4 different zones how human relationships function. So in all relationship there is one relationship where you will see high warmth, high intentions. So the intentions are also very high, warmth is also very high. Which is this relationship? Where intentions are high and warmth is also very high. Which are these relationships? Family, very simple. So their intention is also to stay together, warmth is also, affection for each other is very high. So this is a family relationship. Now when you come to office relationship, it is low warmth but high intention. We are all together for a purpose. Our intentions are very high, but we need not have to have so much affection here. It is a low warmth and high intention. So most of the time we must ensure that what is done at home cannot be done here, and how I keep a distance here cannot be distance there. So there is lot of transparency there, there is lot of boundary here. So these 2 things are important. Then you can go to the 3rd quadrant of the relationship where low intention, high warmth. What does this mean? Intentions are very low but they show a lot of warmth. What could be this? For example, I am very concerned about that lady employee. Why are you looking so dull? Normally you used to be very cheerful, but today you are not normal. She says, I am normal only. No, I can see there is lot of, your eyes shows lot of, I think you have not slept. Kuch hai, you are not telling me. You can speak to me. I go on speaking to her like that. High warmth I am showing. What is my intentions? And I know by this kind of act I can become very close to her. So my intentions are low. And how do we know your intentions are low? You will not know, the girls will know. Women have that intuitive ability to recognize. Unwelcome compassion, unwelcome sympathy, unwelcome empathy, they don't like. Certainly one, my friend is there, whenever he has to talk to a woman, he will say, no, I will speak to her, she will become my best friend. I said, how do you do that? All that you have to go and say that, I think you are not happy with your husband. Arey, how do you know? You just throw na. Andhere mein tir chalao na. Like that. And if she is very vulnerable, she will say, how do you know? I think you must be a mind reader. Then relationship is built. No, don't do that. Low intentions, high warmth. It doesn't work. Like LIC agent will come to you and say that, no, sir, after your death, who will take care of your family? As if he is worried about my family. He is only worried about selling his policy, nothing else. So this is all high warmth and low intention, right? The 4th quadrant is low intentions, low warmth. This is where all the conflicts in relationship come. Low intention and low warmth. The intentions are also low, warmth is also low. Now how do we move this relationship to either low warmth, high intention or high warmth, high intention? So this is very important. If we understand this, then a lot of things are there. And fundamentally there may be a lot of difference between how a woman has been brought up, how a man has been brought up. And if you can beat all those social conditioning, then you can build a wonderful relationship wherever you are. A couple came to me for counseling, 5 years of marriage. So whenever couple come, no, you have to be very sensitive. If you put chair exactly opposite to the wife, husband will think this fellow is wife side. If you put chair opposite to the husband, wife will think these men are always together. So you have to position your chair exactly in between wife and husband. Then I asked her, how can I help you? Lady said, sir, we have been married for 5 years. In these 5 years, not even once my husband has said, I love you. I looked at the husband and say, sir, to say I love you, it takes only 5 seconds. In 5 years, you did not get 5 seconds to say I love you. Sir, wait, he said, tone very high. Sir, wait. Ugadi, one gift. Gauri Ganesha festival, one gift. Her birthday, one jewelry. Wedding anniversary, one tour. Every year, sir, 4 things I am doing. Don't I love her? I looked at the wife, very logical, no? Looked at the wife, she said, sir, this year 2 items he has given. I will return. I don't want the item. Let him say I love you. No, he said, why should I say? Everything is action, no saying. Then wife smiled and said, I know, sir, he won't tell. Forget, sir, every day I cook breakfast, this much he eats. Lunch box has to be this big. Again, dinner this much. In 5 years, not even once he has appreciated my cooking. I looked at the husband, sir. He said, sir, wait, sir. Today she had prepared rava idli. Normally I eat 2. Today I have eaten 4 meals. She says, why can't you tell? No, mine is action. Then she is very sensitive. She answered, sir, now I can understand he loves me. But why he is not saying? This is bothers me. I said, there is nothing to bother. Woman always operates from heart. She wants recognition, she wants acknowledgement, she wants to be appreciated. Everything she wants to be appreciated. For example, husband brings a new sari, she wears the new sari and comes and stands in front of the husband and she does like that. What does it mean? She is saying, the sari you bought, I am wearing, how I am looking in this sari. That is her expression. This fellow does not understand. So he says, "Kyun hil rahi hai? Theek se karo na." Now what happens? The neighbor will appreciate. Then something happens there. No, I said, see, you always operate from heart. They always operate from head. This is the conditioning. Right from childhood, a boy is told, hey, you must be brave. You must not cry. You must be strong. Always think and all that. The girl is told, you must always be loving, take care of children, husband take care. Like that, she is like that. She always operates from heart, always. Now see, he is from here, she is from here, 2 parallel lines. Parallel lines never meet, no? Then husband said, sir, what you said is right. What should we do? I said, you bring something, no? Even you bring a flower to your wife. Before giving, say a dialogue which touches her heart. See, when I saw this flower, I remembered you. Take this. I wait, sir, I will write down. Sir, it is not to be written down, sir. It has to be spontaneous. Then you say that. Then what happens? From head, you are moving towards her heart. So she said, this is good idea, sir. What should I do? So whenever he gives, don't look at from your heart, think from it. If he has seen the flower, at the time of seeing the flower, he has remembered and he has brought flower for me, means he loves. You have to use your head. So what you are doing? You are moving from your heart to his head. What he is doing? From head to his towards heart. So there is some point where both of you will intersect. That point is called understanding. When that happens, everything, problem will not be solved, sir. Problem will be dissolved. So that is where high warmth, high intention, low warmth, high intention, if you are able to distinguish, this is what my role at home, this is what is my role at them, and then learn to enjoy every moment. What is that every moment? If you are in office, in between cut jokes, common jokes, enjoy. Lot of things happen in the office. Like somebody was asking the other day, so wherever you go, your husband comes. How is that? He loves you too much? No, sir, he is like GST. Every product has a GST, no? Product cost is alag, GST is alag. So now we can't buy anything without GST. So wherever I go, he is like my GST, she says. So husband also laughs. Husband can become angry. Mujhe GST bol gayi. He enjoyed. Then he said, next time when I go, somebody else, I'll say the same thing. So even those small moments, if you enjoy, life will be simple. And drop all these conditions, focus on the happiness and learn how to be together in doing whatever. Desha sevarte karasanchayam, no, that is what you are. So we are all here for that purpose. So how do we? So if we enjoy in all those moments, forgetting all the gender bias, whatever conditions, by dropping all that, then everything is simple, life would be beautiful. So you can enjoy every moment together. जो कागज के फूलों में खुशबू ढूंढते हैं, छोटे छोटे चीज़ों में बड़ा सुख पाते हैं, अपने ही घर में फरिश्ते ढूंढते हैं, वही लोग जिंदगी जीते हैं. We can enjoy life. So where is the question of this bias, misunderstanding, doing something, having something in the heart, expressing something else? So drop all this social conditioning we have to drop and treat everybody same. Yes, we are different. The difference is because of the nature, not because of us. The pain of conceiving and delivering a baby, God thought it is better to be with woman because so for women he gave that job. So your job is to see that you become the cause for the birth of a child. So he gave you a different capacity, he gave her a different capacity. It is a nature's creation. So when nature has given that, it must be complementary, it should not be contradictory. So let us complement each other and live together. Same thing happen in a workplace. You can bring some creativity into work pros. I can bring some intellectual ability. So let us put together and do the best. When you have all these things, there is nothing to bother about. So if we drop all our conditions, understand, free from gender bias, which we are victims because from time immemorial we have been taught. So it is to decondition ourselves is most important. Once that happens, this law is not required because you know how to live together, whether it is man or a woman. So if we are able to do that, then things will be beautiful. Thank you. If you have anything to ask, any questions? Thank you.
I request the audience to make use of this opportunity and ask any question. It's not that sir is here just on behalf of the POSH Act. I think we should appreciate the fact that sir is also a counselor and he will definitely guide us on how to behave better in a society. So I encourage all of you to kindly come forward and ask some questions. Yes, we will ask sir to give his contact number at the end of the session. But when you ask a question, you're benefiting not only yourself, the others around you as well. So I request at least 3-4 questions to be asked.
Any question you can ask, even if it is not related to POSH. While answering, I will connect how it is related to POSH. Yeah. Any question, anything. So two possibilities are there. One is everything has gone inside or everything has gone सर के ऊपर चला गया.
Sir, for all these things, why your organization, whatever, the body should not recommend the ministry, the head of the government, to inculcate the education system where the girls' children will be given more physical power, that exercise given to girls. So physical power gives more mental strength to them. So that future generation, at least girls will be more powerful, so that some level the equality will come.
One is to say that equality has got nothing to do with physical power. It is all comes by practice. Don't think men are by birth stronger, women are weaker. It is a false concept. Now how do you say women are actually stronger? To conceive a child, carry that in her womb for 9 months. Do you know what all the changes she goes through? Vomiting, nausea, right? Sleepless nights, when the child kicks. So many things she goes through. In the night when your wife snores, you will get upset. But the child kicks, she tolerates. And finally the labor pain is supposed to be the greatest pain of the world. So God decided, let this be with woman. So do you think men are stronger than women when she can do? Now you can ask, sir, it is nature. It is nature because you have to produce sperms. That virality is required. There is certain amount of strength nature has given. But by proper training and practice, women can also become proper. So what is lacking? It all depends on your training and practice. For several years, weightlifting, women were not allowed. One day, Karna Malleshwari came and she lifted 180 kgs. How did it happen? It is all training and practice. Now coming to her, now UNICEF had recommended 10 important skills for children to be taught when they were in 8th standard. Now maybe Madam's recommendation the government has heard, they have introduced new 12 different topics to be taught to the children. Among them, one of them, the most important, is considered as gender equality. So those topics are being introduced. I think in another 6 months they have created a note. So it will be introduced in all 8th standard students. There are 12 different skills to be taught. One is empathy, compassion, honesty, truthfulness, being gender equality, creative thinking and all that. So all those different 12 topics are being introduced. So that is there, but the nature's creation is like that for the purpose of keeping that reproductive capacity in view, but these topics are also being introduced. So one of them is gender equality, that is also being introduced. Yeah.
Since we are not having any more questions here, I would request 2 members of the audience to kindly come here and express how you felt about the session. You need not go into details, but you could just let the others know, because it will definitely resonate with the others who are here. I'd request Shri Pranav Sharma to kindly come here and share his insight on what you learned today. Please come.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, sir, for this very esteemed session with us. We're all very new to this department. For me, it's not been even 2 years, but there's 24 batch as well and 23 batch as well who have not completed their probation as of now, and they're not aware of this provisions or all these things. So, and this was a very new thing for all of us to know. We've studied about this in our preparation days, and we were not really knowing about this in depth. We were just knowing about the facts, what are the provisions and what punishments are there in this regard. But to hear it from you, to hear all the live examples, to get all the in-depth things was a very big thing for us to know. And I'd really appreciate for all the examples you've used and for the time you've given us. Thank you, sir.
Can we have the second person from a woman? Yeah.
Yes, I'd like to ask any lady officer to volunteer here and come forward, and if none of the lady officers volunteers, then we have our very own Jayalalitha. Please come, Jayalalitha madam, and share your experience, your insight on what we have all learned today.
Thank you all. Thank you for choosing me, madam. Thank you, sir, for this wonderful class. Though I have undergone like this classes before also, when I was working in Kormangala Kendriya Sadan, one officer from NGO had come, one lady officer had come and given us one class on this sexual harassment on, and what are awareness, we should inculcate in men and women from the childhood. Sir, I strongly believe that it cannot be changed in one day. At least the children should be given from the home itself, they should be given the training. The beginning itself they should be given when they are child. And especially girls should be given. As sir only told one example, that in a canteen what happened to a girl was one candidate person. The girl responded only because she was physically, she knew the technique, how to oppose a man or whatever it is, because she got that mental power on from the physical she knew. So that's what I was telling all these times. The girls should be given proper exercise to fight in any emergency. At least some techniques they should be learnt. That should be a part of their education from the beginning. That's all I wanted to give, sir. Otherwise, no. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jayalalitha madam. Anyone else wish to come and speak over here? Sir, shall we conclude?
Okay, so since a lot of you have not spoken, so I will make everybody speak, right? So I'll come from one line, so each person will say only one point that touched you in this session, only one, right? Okay, sir, from here. Say any one thing. That's all. Right, yeah, yes, sir. You will pass. No, I will come to you, everybody has to say.
Me, sir?
Yeah.
Sir, in this, you have gone into, regularly you spoken about this general session. You've also gone into the how you have to be with your wife. So there is really a attachment.
Yes, sir. The awareness is very important. That is the main thing what you may understand. Due to unawareness and other thing only this happens. This is happening. So you highlighted everything in your speech.
Yes, madam.
Sir, that point of understanding.
Right.
There is also understanding between husband and wife.
Oh, right.
खाना अच्छा नहीं
Sir, आपको क्या लगा?
Awareness is important, sir.
Right. Yes, sir.
regarding the sections and this thing, provisions, what are all there. ಮತ್ತೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ because so many of us will not be knowing about the exact this one.
Pause before you speak to lady officer.
Oh, very good.
So the fact that the male person has to be aware of the comfort, the woman is comfortable with the boundary and all.
That's simplicity using good examples.
Yeah.
So the way you conveyed the message that even the person is not convenient or not at a par that you can register the complaint, but you delivered a message that without complaining you did that thing, that the transfer of the other person was done. That was really very touching. Thank you.
So your narrating skills. Sir, the way you said that impact is more important than the intent, and also how an apology should be. That is felt it. Good.
Yes, madam.
The way you said that everybody should be, you should think that everybody are equal. And try to forget other things and work in the. So the lady has to come forward and complain.
Yes, sir. All of them have passed.
Don't assume that somebody is like that and this.
Very good. Yeah.
Sir, knowing about Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, section 74 to 79, right?
Yeah.
So the parallel lines were a concept. No? You told that where the parallel lines meet, that is known as understanding between a man and woman.
Okay.
The sections.
Right.
So the entire
No, it's a correct. You have to say something.
Respecting the privacy of the vehicle.
Oh, very good. Yeah.
So the fact that this session addressed such an untouched point, I really love the idea.
Oh, very good.
entire session.
Okay.
So the point of comfortability that where they feel comfortable.
The point of that respecting the boundaries.
Very good. Yeah.
We should be able to
So we need to respect women in office and and also in outside also, and men and women should be treated equally.
Okay. Very good.
intelligent while talking to the other person.
Okay.
Being more sensitive.
Yes, sir.
Sir, POSH Act ensures human have a great platform to fight against greedy harassment. Okay, what problems happens?
Okay, right.
Real life example.
Okay, thanks.
Where's this? Where's this in the example you
Okay.
gave to the be more sensitive towards it?
Yeah.
Same thing as Madam said, that impact is more important than the intent. I think that's a very powerful message.
So before this session, I heard about only the POSH Act in videos and reels. But today I learned about the POSH, how it is works.
Oh, okay. Yes, sir. Myself. Behind.
Awareness, sir. More general awareness.
Thank you for the session. I learned a lot of things.
Post session was good, but apart from this, in the last you told us that how to make wife happy. For that, it is also
Very knowledge-giving sessions.
Okay.
So the crucial fact that impact is more important than intent.
Okay.
Now you said everything with examples, you explain everything. Give example.
So I like the fact that even women who are not working in their organizations, even outsiders who are coming for consultation and like you said, the delivery person or some like that, they are also included in that case. I like that fact.
So the low warmth, high warmth relationship in the office and the personal life, that concept.
Oh, sensitiveness while tapping women.
The idea of understanding in house as well as in office, that how we can understand each other. Right. You are ready now, sir?
Yes.
Yes.
So the fourth quadrant you told, that is very practical.
Very good.
And the sensitivity and the respecting the others' boundary or the place is very sensitive.
Oh, very good. So what is the difference between when Madam asked two people to come and talk? Now all of you have talked. So what is the difference between that and this?
Stage fear.
Stage fear. Why you have stage fear? What happens when you have stage fear? When you stand here? What happens? No, because of stage fear, what happens? No, what is your experience of standing on the stage and experiencing the stage fear? What happens? Hands tremble, so many things happens. Body will vibrate more and all that. Now see, remember this, whenever you have fear, remember 3 E's. One is experience the experience. If our hands are shaking, legs are shivering, butterflies in the stomach, experience. Don't resist. Like when a girl talks to me for the first time, heart beats faster. That means you are alive. Experience. Why it should beat faster than die? No, somebody asked me if the moment I see a girl, the heart start beating faster. What should I do? Get married. That will stop. When excitement is not there, no, it will stop. No. Don't ask question. Experience the experience. Hands are shaking, legs are shivering. Experience. Let it shake. No, what is wrong with it? Nobody will accuse you have Parkinson. Second, enjoy the experience. Sir, how can we enjoy the fear? Arey, you pay $500, go to the disco and to shake. Free of cost shaking, enjoy, no? Third, explore into experience. What is the primary cause of stage fear? Fear of? What people will think of me. If you want, if you don't want, people will continue to think of you, no? कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना. Why you have to afraid? Always talk to express, not to impress. All of you gave a different point, but it gave me a very good feedback. I thought a lot of people are not talking means, oh, they have not understood. But when somebody says, impact, intent, it has touched my life. That girl's example has touched my life. She says, in the canteen example has touched my life. You said this. Now everybody, now I am clear that everybody has got some message. No? express, no? It will help other people. The quality of the speaker depends on the quality of the audience. Not the speaker is great, it is all how you respond. Now I feel like extending my talk now. See, as I'm talking now, I can't stop now. I have to control myself because all of your feedback is making me to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I have nothing else to add to what everybody has summed up so well. So you've gone beyond the POSH Act, you've gone into homes, you've solved problems of probably marital problems also, where people are now more understanding about how they should deal with their wives. That's great. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your insights, for your knowledge, and for your presence here. You've cheered us up on this Monday morning. And thank you for the wonderful audience. Thank you all for participating, for patiently listening, and making it successful. Thank you.
There won't be a problem.